Hello Junior Turkeys, welcome. This is the third video, practice video under the series on functions grade 10. Get a paper, get a pen, stop the video, pause the video, and try to attempt to answer the questions yourself. So the first question that we're given is that f of x, which is given by negative 2x squared plus 2 and g of x is equals to 2 to the power x plus 1 are the defining equations of the graphs of f and g respectively. Write down an equation for the asymptote of g. So straight away, that one is straightforward. I've already written it for you. The asymptote of g, you should see it. It is definitely that q value right there. Y is equals to 1. So I've already written y is equals to 1. That's a bonus question. Move on to the next question. We're required to sketch the graph of f of x and g of x on the same set of axes, showing all intercepts with the axis, turning points, and asymptotes. So to sketch that graph, we know without a doubt that we need to find intercepts first. So the intercepts of f would be, we're going to say 0 is equals to negative 2x squared plus 2. Then if we divide by 2, we're going to get 0 is equals to negative x squared plus 1. Then taking everything to the left-hand side, we get x squared minus 1 is equals to 0. Factorizing that, we get x plus 1, x minus 1 is equals to 0. Therefore, our 2x values will be x is equals to 1 or x is equals to minus 1. Without a doubt, we know that our y-intercept is equivalent to our q value. From the function, straight away we know that the q value is that 2. Therefore, we know that our y is equals to 2. That's our y-intercept. We move on to the intercepts of g. With the intercepts of g, we know again that our q value, our y-intercept, is the q value, which is that 1 circled in blue. So our y is equals to 1. And to get the x-intercept, we're going to say 0 is equals to 2 to the power x plus 1. Then if we move the 2 to the power x or the positive 1 to the left or right, doesn't matter, we're going to get 2 to the power x is equals to negative 1. Immediately, we can't do anything to that exponential equation. Therefore, the conclusion is that we do not have a y-intercept for that exponential graph. Now, to sketch the graphs on the same Cartesian plane, we start with the key features. We've got our axes. The key features would be, number 1, the asymptote y is equals to 1, which you're seeing on the screen right now. Then if we draw our exponential function, and remember to label it please as g, then we're going to insert our x-intercept, which we know that they are at minus 1 and plus 1. Minus 1 and plus 1, and not 2, minus 2 and 2. So it's actually minus 1 and positive 1, just like that. All right, then we move on. We indicate the graph, which is a parabola, it's concave down. We know that our turning point for that graph, it's right there at the point 0 is to 2. Then just to label all the intercepts, the other one here would be 1 is to 0. Then the other one would be minus 1 is to 0, just to indicate that. We move on to the next part of the question where they say write down the range of f. So for the range of f, we know that the range there would be y is less than or equal to 2, or y is an element of minus infinity up to 2 included. We move on to 4.4. Determine the maximum value of h if h of x is equal to 3 to the power f of x. So if we reproduce that, h of x is equal to 3 to the power f of x. But what is our f of x? Our f of x is actually given as h of x is equal to 3 to the power negative 2x squared plus 2, representing our h of x, our f of x. But what we know about f of x, the graph f of x, we know that that graph is a maximum at 2, right? That graph has a maximum at 2. So in place of that, I can have it as h of x is equal to 3 to the power 2. Where is the 2 coming from? One might wonder. The 2 is that 2 that we're seeing right there from the graph. That is the maximum of our graph, which we then substitute in place of that function, resulting in the 3 squared leading to a maximum value of 9. Pretty much straightforward. I hope you enjoyed that session. We move on to the last question. 4.5. Write down the transformation of the graph of y is equals to f of x if it undergoes to obtain the graph of 2x squared minus 2. So I'm going to start by sketching the graph of y is equals to 2x squared minus 2. So to sketch that graph, we know that that graph would look like that. So it's a reflection of the orange graph, your f of x, about the x-axis. It's a reflection. How do I know that it's a reflection? Because all the terms that I have within that original function, their signs have changed. That means you have multiplied f of x by a negative. And therefore, the conclusion is that the transformation that we have is a reflection in the x-axis or the line y is equal to 0. I hope you enjoyed that session. Until next time, bye-bye.